Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I hope all of you will be fine and studying regularly at home. Class 3 students, this is lecture 15, subject English. Your book is Oxford Reading Circle and the topic is Unit 5, Achil. This is a poem and this is the last unit of your first term syllabus. Before starting the lecture, students, I advise you to take out your Oxford Reading Circle book, your English notebook and your stationery items like your pencil, eraser, sharpener, etc. I also advise you be attentive during lecture and listen it very carefully. When you will pay full attention, you will be able to understand the lecture in a better way. So, I hope students you will be attentive during lecture. That's very good. This is your Oxford Reading Circle book. I hope all of you will be having this book. So, take out it. In this lecture, we will do Unit 5. This is a poem, Achil. So, first of all, we see the things that we will do in this lecture. So, the contents of this lecture are following. First of all, we will read the poem, Achil. Then there will be the explanation of the poem. After explanation, we will do words meanings and words sentences that are given in your syllabus. Students, open Unit 5, the poem Achil. This is a poem and it is written by Christina Rossetti. Remember this, the person who writes a poem is called a poet. If a woman or a lady writes a poem, she is called a poetess. So, Christina Rossetti is the poetess of this poem, Achil. Now, we will read this poem together. I hope you will also read with me. What can lambkins do all the keen night through? Nestle by their woolly mother, the careful ewe. What can nestlings do in the nightly dew? Sleep beneath their mother's wing till day breaks anew. If in field or tree there might only be such a warm, soft sleeping place found for me. In the first and second stanza, the poetess describes this love and warmth of motherhood by giving the examples of lambkins and nestlings. Lambkins are the baby sheep. They are the babies of sheep. These are called lambs, lambkins, very small babies, lambkins. And nestlings are the baby birds that cannot fly. They live in the nest. They totally depend on their mothers. Their mother feed them and they live in the nest So these are very young birds. These are called nestlings. So the poetess tells that how the mothers of lambkins and nestlings protect their babies from the cold weather through the night. Ewe is the mother of lambs. She has woolly skin that is very warm. You have seen a sheep or lambs. You know their skin is very warm and they have woolly skin. So Ewe is the mother of lambs. So she keeps them close to her woolly skin. She keeps the lambs close to her woolly skin at night in order to provide them warmth and protect them from cold. Because they sleep in the field, open area field, at night there is chill weather. So the ewe, the mother of lambs, keep her babies, lambkins, close to her skin so that she can provide them warmth and protect them from cold weather. In the same way, in the second stanza, the poetess tells that the mother bird keeps her nestlings or baby birds under her wings in the nest. Nestlings, as you know, they are the baby birds that cannot fly. As the ewe keeps her lambs close to herself to provide them warmth at night, in the same way, the mother bird keeps her nestlings or baby birds under her wings in her nest so that they cannot be affected from cold weather and dew drops. Dew drops are cold water drops, as you can see in the air, and they fall on the ground in the winter season. Early in the morning when you go outside, there are dew drops on the grass, on flowers, on leaves. So these are called the dew drops. So in the first and second stanza, the poetess describes how the mothers keep their babies safe from the cold weather. I hope you would have understood it. Now look at the third. In the third stanza, the poetess describes her wish. She desires or wishes to find for herself a comfortable place to sleep. She wants to find this place in a field or on a tree. She thinks as lambkins and nestlings sleep comfortably and soundly, in the same way she wants to sleep and also wants to enjoy the love and warmth of motherhood. So the poetess, in this third stanza, in the last stanza, the poetess shows her wish or desire. Dear students, I hope this explanation would help you a lot in understanding this poem. Now let us move towards words meanings. Now we will do words meanings. Students, take out your English notebooks. You will note them on your notebooks and you will also learn their meanings. There are 5 words that are given in your syllabus. The first word is lambkins. Lambkins mean baby sheep or the babies of the lamb sheep. So lambkins means baby sheep or tiny lambs. The next word is ewe. Ewe is a female sheep. It is also the mother of lambs. A female sheep is called ewe. You will pronounce it as a E-W-E. You will pronounce it ewe. Third word is dew. Dew means very small drops of water. Very small drops of water. These are the droplets of water from the air Early in the morning, you can see these dew drops on the ground, on the grass, on the leaves. The next word is beneath. Beneath. Beneath means under. Under. The last word is woolly. Woolly. Woolly means soft, covered in wool. Now students, you will use these words in your sentences. Now we will do word sentences. I am giving you one sentence just as a sample. You must make your own sentences and write them on your notebooks. The first word, lambkins. Lambkins means tiny lambs, baby sheep. Its sentence is, the children like to play with lambkins. The next word is ewe. Ewe. Ewe means a female sheep. A female sheep. I saw many ewe in the field. Number 3 is dew. Dew. Dew means droplets of water from the air, small drops of water. There is dew on the grass early in the morning. Very early in the morning, students, when you go to a park, you can see these drops of water on these dew drops on the grass, on the flowers, on the leaves. So dew, the sentence of dew is, there is dew on the grass early in the morning. The next word is beneath. Beneath. Beneath means under. Under. There was a newspaper beneath the pile of books. The last word is woolly. Woolly. Its meaning is soft, covered in wool. The sentence is, my brother has a woolly cap. Students, I advise you to use these words in your own sentences. Try to make your own sentences and write them on your notebooks. In the end, dear students, I am giving you one homework, that is, first of all, you have to learn words meanings, and the next work is, you must use these words in your own sentences and write them on your English notebooks. Keep on studying at home regularly. Allah Hafiz. Take care of yourself.